Hello everyone, welcome to this new video on transmission of power. In this video I will discuss about some power transmission systems, namely belt drive, chain drive and gear drive, starting with belt drive. The belts and ropes are used to transmit power from one shaft to another by means of pulleys which rotate at same speed or at different speed. The amount of power transmitted depends upon the following factors: the velocity of the belt in meter per second, belt tension which depends upon compression and expansion of belt, contact angle or arc of contact between the belt and the smaller pulley, the condition under which the belt is used like temperature, pressure, etc., and finally the material of the belt used. In the figure shown you can see two rotating wheels, namely driver and driven pulley, and a belt running around them. Driver pulley is rotating with the help of a motor, whereas a driven pulley is rotating with the help of belt which transmit the motion. Hence it is called as transmission system. Pulleys with different size are used to vary the speed of the output. If driven pulley is larger than the driver pulley, then output speed will be smaller than the input speed, and vice versa. Belt drives are used in many places and in many devices like sewing machine, machine tools, machineries, and also in automobiles. Based on the shape of the belt drive can be classified as flat and V-belt drive. Flat belt is used in factories and workshops where a moderate amount of power is to be transmitted from one pulley to another when two pulleys are not more than 8 meters apart. But there is a problem of slip or belt slipping from the pulley due to the variation of tensions and due to the friction. V-belt is used in factories and workshops where a moderate amount of power is to be transmitted from one pulley to another pulley where two pulleys are very near to each other. This belt design is useful when more torque is to be transmitted. Due to its V or trapezoidal shape, slipping problem of belt will not be there. Here in this slide you can see the difference between flat and V belt. Total 11 points are given here, starting with cross-sectional area. For flat belt it is rectangular in cross section and V belt trapezoidal. If you compare the area of applications, a flat belt is used in places where the distance between the pulleys is 8 meters, whereas V belt is used when the distance is less. Efficiency wise, flat belt is having less efficiency as compared to V belt. Construction of the pulley in case of flat belt it is simple without any groove, whereas in V belt a groove is required. Cost of flat belt is lesser as compared to V belt due to its simple design. Alignment is also not required in case of flat belt, whereas in V belt it is very important. Velocity ratio cannot be obtained in case of flat belt, whereas in V belt it is very essential to find out. Less amount of power is required in case of flat belt as compared to V belt due to its simple design. And speed reduction ratio is small in case of flat belt and more in case of V belt. Operation is noisy in case of flat belt as compared to V belt. Belt drives can also be classified as open belt and cross belt based on the arrangement. So now we discuss about the open belt drive. It is used when shafts are arranged parallel and rotating in the same direction. Tension in the lower side of the belt will be more than that of the upper side. Lower side tension is called as tight side, whereas upper side tension is called as slack side tension. In the diagram shown, both motor and driven pulley shaft are parallel to each other. If the shafts are not aligned parallelly, this belt cannot be used. Belt run between pulleys as shown in the figure. In case of cross belt drive, it is used when shafts are arranged parallel but rotating in the opposite direction. The cross belt drive can transmit more power as compared to open belt drive. In the diagram shown, both the motor and driven pulley shaft are parallel to each other, but the belt arrangement is cross, unlike the previous case. This is more suitable arrangement to avoid slipping of the belts and used mainly when the direction of rotation of the driven pulley is to be reversed. A belt drive with idler pulley is used when the shaft arrangement is parallel to each other and tension on any one side is less. It is useful when the tension in the slack side is too less and driven pulley is only rotates without pulling the belt. Use of idler pulley increases the tension, thereby decreasing the slipping problems of the belt. Cone pulley drive. A stepped or cone pulley drive is used for changing the speed of the driven shaft while the driving shaft runs at constant speed. 3 to 5 cone pulley steps are used to vary the speed. It is mainly used in machine tools like lathe machine, milling machine, drilling machine, etc. In the figure shown, we can see 3 steps in cone pulley. Driver pulley speed will be equal to motor speed, whereas driven pulley can achieve 3 different speeds. Velocity ratio. It is the ratio between the velocities of the driver and driven pulley. In the figure shown, N1 and N2 are the speed of driver and driven pulleys, whereas D1 and D2 are the diameters. Velocity ratio can be expressed as N2 by N1 is equal to D1 by D2. Thickness of the belt, small letter t is included, then the expression changes as shown here. N2 by N1 is equal to D1 plus t divided by D2 plus t. Slip of the belt is the gap between the belt surface and the driven pulley surface, mainly due to tension difference and wear and tear of the belt surface due to friction. Tension difference between the tight and slack side will elongate the belt that results in the slipping of the belt. Driven pulley thus rotates without pulling the belt properly, resulting in wastage of power. Equation given here is the equation to find out slip occurring in the belt. Creep of belt. Belt extends and contracts repeatedly when the belt passes from tight side to slack side. Due to this length changes, it is termed as creep in the belt, and the equation N2 by N1 is given in order to find out the creep. The creep is due to elastic property of the belt is totally different from slip, which is due to insufficient friction grip between the belt and pulley. Chain drive. Instead of belt, we can use chain drives between the pulleys as shown in the diagram. A chain is made as a series of pin connected links. Chain used to transmit large tensile forces which a belt drive cannot do. When transmitting power between the rotating shafts, the chain engages with the toothed wheels called as sprockets. There are some difference between the belts and chains. They are as follows. Belts are used for high speed low torque applications, whereas chains are used for low speed and high torque applications. Belt drive face problems like length variation, corrosion, slip, creep, etc. Whereas in case of chain drive, we can see wear and tear, noise and vibration problems which can be reduced to some extent with the help of lubrication. A gear is a component within a transmission device that transmits rotational force to another gear or device. In case of rope and belt drives, we have seen that they are used when driver and driven pulleys are not in contact, and hence the power transmitted will be lost due to slip and creep. Also due to frictional losses, the efficiency of power transmission in such device is less. Whereas power may be transmitted from one shaft to another by means of mating gears with high transmission efficiency. Gear drive is a positive drive with no slip at all, and it can transmit very large power with high transmission efficiency. Gear devices are of two types, namely external and internal. An external gear is one in which teeth form on the outer surface of the cylinder or cone and mesh externally. Conversely, an internal gear is the one in which teeth form on the inner surface of the cylinder or cone and mesh internally. So here we will discuss all the gears one by one, starting with spur gear. Spur gears are the most common type of gears. They have straight teeth and are mounted on parallel shafts. Each time a gear tooth engages a tooth on the other gear, and hence the teeth collide, and this impact makes a noise. It is used in electronic equipments, machineries and machines. Bevel gears are the second type and are useful when the direction of the shaft rotation needs to be changed. Bevel gears are cone-shaped gears with the teeth placed along the conical surface. This gear drive is useful where shaft arrangement angle is 90 degrees to each other. Helical gear is another type of gear similar to spur gear, typically employ the parallel axis configuration with mated gear pairs, but if aligned properly, they can also be used to drive non-parallel, non-intersecting shafts. The teeth on the helical gears are cut at an angle to the face of the gear. When two teeth on the helical gear system engages, the contact starts at one end of the tooth and gradually spreads as the gear rotates until the two teeth are in full engagement. Worm gear pairs are comprised of a worm wheel, typically a cylindrical gear paired with a worm, that is a screw-shaped gear. These gears are used to transmit motion and power between the non-parallel, non-intersecting shafts. Rack and pinion gears are a pair of gears comprised of gear rack and a cylindrical gear referred to as pinion. The gear rack can be considered as gear of infinite radius and is constructed with straight teeth cut or inserted on the bar's surface. It is used in lathe in which the rack transmits the motion to the saddle. Gear trains. When two or more gears are made to mesh with each other to transmit power from one shaft to another, such a combination is called as gear train or train of tooth wheels. There are four types of gear trains are there, namely simple gear train, compound gear train, reverted gear train and epicyclic gear trains. Let us discuss all these four types one by one. Simple gear train. When there is only one gear on each shaft, it is known as simple gear train. Figure shown is a simple gear train with the two gears mounted on two parallel shafts. Since the gear 1 drives the gear 2, gear 1 is called as the driver and the gear 2 is called as the driven or follower. To find out the speed ratio of the simple gear train, we need speed and number of teeth on both the gears. Let us take N1 and N2 as speed of the gear 1 and 2 in RPM. T1 and T2 are the number of teeth on gear 1 and gear 2 respectively. Now the speed ratio equation is N1 by N2 is equal to T2 by T1. If you want to calculate the train value, that is TV, we need to reciprocate the speed ratio, that is N2 by N1 is equal to T1 by T2. If more number of gears are attached in a simple gear train, then in order to find out the speed ratio, the equation is speed of the driver divided by speed of the driven is equal to number of teeth on driven divided by number of teeth on driver. Always the first gear is called as the driver gear and the last gear in the gear train is called as driven. Compound gear train. When there are more than one gear on the shaft, it is known as compound gear train as shown in the figure. In the figure, there are totally 4 shafts are there. In the first shaft, only one gear is attached and it is named as driver. In the second shaft, 2 gears are attached or mounted, namely gear 2 and gear 3 are called as compound gears. In the third shaft, 2 gears, namely gear 4 and gear 5 are mounted. And on the last shaft, only one gear is attached and it is named as driven. Always, first gear is the driver and the last gear is driven. In between, there are 2 compound gears. In order to find out the speed ratio, equation is given like this. Speed of the first driver divided by speed of the last driven or follower is equal to product of number of teeth on the drivens divided by product of number of teeth on the drivers. Therefore, from the given example, speed ratio N1 by N6 is equal to T2 into T4 into T6 divided by T1 into T3 into T5, where N is speed of respective gear and T is number of teeth on the respective gears. Reverted gear train. When the axis of the first gear and the last gear are coaxial as shown in the figure, then the gear train is known as reverted gear train. In this, the moment is transferred from gear 1 to gear 2 and from gear 2 to gear 3 and from gear 3 to gear 4 in the reverted manner, instead directly from gear 1 to gear 4. In this case, gear 2 and gear 3, since they are mounted on the same shaft running at the same speed. This type of gear train can be normally seen in automobile gearboxes. Last one is epicyclic gear train. In an epicyclic gear train, the axis of the shaft over which the gears are mounted may move relative to fixed axis. Gear A and arm C have a common axis at O1. Gear B meshes with gear A and has its axis on the arm at O2. If gear A is fixed and arm is rotated about the axis of gear A, then the gear B is forced to rotate upon and around the gear A. Such motion is called as epicyclic. Thank you.